Hey y'all, it's Megan. Welcome back to the channel. Glad y'all are here today. So, Debby, the tropical storm, has made it here. We've had lots of people asking, if we were going to be affected by it. And of course, by the time y'all see this, hopefully it'll be done and gone and out of here. But
she's here right now.
We just thought we'd bring y'all along, and we don't really know what we're in for. They're calling for quite a bit of rain. It's about 9:30 in the morning right now, and we've had a little over an inch. And it's still just pouring as hard as it wants to pour. So, one extreme to the other around here.
That's right. To the best of my knowledge, I heard rain hitting the roof about 4:30 this morning. And I'm going to step back here. I'm getting wet. And it was pouring at 4:30 this morning. And then it let up. So, I don't know. I don't think it was continuous rain at that time. It was probably just rain bands coming in. But as of right now, what'd you say? We had an inch so far in the gauge?
Yeah.
So we're expected to get anywhere from the 3 to 6 inch range. I don't know if we'll get that much or not. I kind of find it hard to believe that we'll get that much. I'll tell you, it's been a very, very long time since we had that much rain at one time. Guess we'll kind of cover it as it goes along here. And once it's all said and done, we'll go see what it all looks like once it's out of here.
And I'm going to tell you, the one thing that I'm really worried about is the creek garden. Because you've heard us say time and time again, when it's dry outside, that place down there, that is the optimal place to grow food. Yep. I mean, it really is. And with that drought and everything, the creek garden has done fabulous. But it holds water, y'all. And it's on a creek bottom. Yeah,
with this much rain, things are liable to drown down there.
Yeah.
And if it does, it does. There's nothing we can do about it. But we got our fingers crossed that it don't.
Yeah.
But everything's looking great down there right now, so it's going to be interesting to see how it holds.
And as far as flooding, we're not worried about flooding up here at our house. Because we're on a big hill. The creek is down on that bottom. We're not worried about that. But as far as the creek getting out in that bottom, it's liable to happen.
Well, it's somewhat let up, finally.
For a few minutes, anyway.
So we're going to take advantage of it because it don't look like it's going to last long at all on radar. We're going to take advantage of it and run around and try to get all of our animals fed. I tell you what, days like this make me realize I really, really, really wish I had a place like a garage or something I could work on equipment, because I have nowhere to do that kind of stuff. Let's check the rain gauge. We ain't really had as much as I thought. Just a little less than 2 inches. So,
but there's more coming.
There's a lot more coming, but honestly, I thought by the way it'd been raining that we'd have had more than that. But anyways, we ain't got time to waste. We got to get this stuff done. In a previous video, one of y'all asked why these black cows slung feed up on their backs. Really what they were doing is swatting their head at flies, and the feed just comes out of their mouth and lands on the flies, I guess. Anyways, that's what they're doing, swatting at flies. They weren't exactly throwing the feed up. You can see right here how much it's rained. We got a creek running down through the gravel here. Not a bad one though. I've seen it a whole lot worse than this. But as we said, we still got rain coming. Days like this, you still got to get out and take care of this, the chores of feeding everything. But I won't lie to you. They may not get fed at the same exact time as what they normally get fed. We tend to wait and hopefully catch a break in the rain if we see one coming. So far, we've been probably kind of lucky. I've seen pictures online and video online from other places in the state, and it looks like they probably caught it a lot worse than we did, or at least so far they have. But we've had wind here. Nothing. Well, the wind's blowing right now, but it's not awful. And we've had pretty heavy rainfall, but that's mainly all it's been, is a rainfall event so far for us. How many eggs you get?
3.
3?
Yep.
Is that all?
And all I grounded right. But you know what? It's drier in their house up on the edge right there.
Really? So it hadn't blowed in, really?
No, and then the nesting boxes are dry. That's why I said it the way it's sitting. The hay and the boxes are dry.
So basically they're just wet because they won't go in half.
Just like the horses and the cows have been out in it the entire time.
Well, you better believe them pigs ain't wet. They ain't been out in it.
I just got a holler from my cows. Woo, cows! Come on! I have to haul for them before I start making their feed. It'll take them 20 years to get up.
Are they way down yonder?
Except for
She's running. She is. She's running. Come on, girl. So y'all can see this right here. This is one troublesome spot we have when we have heavy rain. All the water comes from up here on top of the hill towards the house, and it'll funnel right down this road here. And I've got it sort of swelled out right there to where it actually cuts across the road, and the water heads down into the pasture to keep it from running down that road. But this little area right here is always been a little troublesome to deal with. You know, I always have to do some constant maintenance, pulling the gravel and dirt back up into this. And I'm not really sure of any other way to do it, just because of the way the land lays. Without some major grading work or something like that, I mean, that's really about the best we can do. But since we fixed the road down the hill here, this is the only spot that we really have trouble with anymore. So we've come a long ways. I'm actually pretty excited to see how my road going down through there that y'all watched me fix back in the winter. I'm pretty excited to see how it's held up after all this is over with, because this is really the first really heavy major rain event that we've had since I got that fixed. I expect it to hold up just fine, but you know, you never know until you actually experience it and see what it looks like.
That's why I started hollering for them before they ever fix their food.
Boy, Candy ain't gonna miss out on a meal. Look at her come running.
She loves her spot. She loves her spot.
Now, typically the kids do this right here, but since it's raining like it is, we told them they could have the day off, and we're gonna hurry up and get it done this evening.
Okay, yeah, because we ain't got, I don't think, but a few minutes.
Yeah, I don't think we got long at all.
Come on, baby doll. Come on, horses.
Come on!
They wait on me.
Come on, Candy. The water trough's plenty full. Everybody's always asking if we have rain catchment. Right there's our rain catchment. One of these days, though, there's a ton of water that comes off of this roof. One of these days, I'm going to put me a gutter across the backside of this roof. And I'm going to have me a big tank down here to catch some water. Look how dark they are when they're wet.
Back up, Quasi. Come here, Ty. Here's yours. Back up. Hey, here's yours. All right, let me go feed. Good girl. Hey, my sweet girl. She just turned plumb into a pet. That's for sure.
I know them cows are finally happy they got some grass to eat.
Oh, look what it did.
I think they're looking a little bit better again, too.
Yeah, Candy's a little bony, but it's to be expected for a full Jersey that's been in milk for 5 or 6 months. It's, like I said, it's just kind of expected.
Are y'all ready? Y'all ready for your food?
Hey, what did I say? Quit! Oh. Watch. Come on, here's yours. I ain't gonna sit down here with you today, though. Come on. She don't get much because she just kind of nibbles on it. She still drinks milk, so she don't really eat the feed they drink.
She is one pretty calf, though.
Yeah. I have to. Yeah, here comes the rain.
I was getting ready to say, it's coming back.
People may have seen me slinging my arms at them cows. One thing I'm gonna tell you about cows, yes, I talk to them like they're babies, but they will hurt you if you don't.
Sometimes you have to be stern with them, too.
Sometimes
especially Black Star.
Sometimes, especially when they're gentle, like mine. I don't know if you were recording when they were running down through there.
Yeah.
Carrying on. They have knocked me down, especially Black Star. And so I kind of have to swing my arms and have a stern voice, and they know you better get on from me because they'll hurt you, not even if they didn't mean to, but they'll hurt you and not mean to. Okay, I gotta wait on Candy. So.
Okay.
I'll be done.
Sky's getting dark again, and the rain's starting to fall again, but we're about done. Yeah, we kind of keep a constant check on the radar doing something like this, and I seen an opportunity coming, and I told Megan a while ago, I was like, it's here, let's go, because it's not going to be here for long. The one thing me and Megan were just talking about was the fact that the cows and the horses are all soaking wet. The 3 steers we got over here, they're soaking wet. All of them.
They have plenty of access to shelter.
Yeah, they all have. They have plenty of shelter to get under, but they're standing out in the rain. Like, rain doesn't bother them, and storms don't bother them. But the one animal that does, that we found that does get bothered by rain is a pig. I would hate to know. I mean, this is just some advice. If you're growing pigs, make sure you got them a shelter. Because
some people you hear say they don't need one. Like,
yeah.
I don't care if it just starts sprinkling rain. Like, they are running.
They come running across the hill out there to run to their shelter. And our pigs, I should have showed y'all while I was out there, but it's pouring rain again now, so I'm not going back out there. But our pigs apparently have been in the shelter all day long. Like, they have not been outside of that building all day because they were dry. And there was no fresh footprints down there in the mud like they've been out into the, outside. So that's just something to keep in mind. I really think you can get by with horses and cows without shelter. Now, it is nice for them to have access to it in case they want it.
The only time I really notice them up here under is when it's hot.
Yeah, when it's hot, they're standing in the shade.
Yeah, they don't care nothing about the rain, but when it's hot, they'll come up here.
But them pigs, I really think, it would be torture for them pigs to have to stand out in this and not have a shelter to go to.
And goats.
Goats too, goats, absolutely. Every goat we've ever had will cry if it has to stand out in the rain, literally.
One time, I accidentally, I locked the goats. This is back when we had a bunch of goats, and I locked them in the garden over there. And I locked them in there because so they wouldn't come out, so they would eat their fill or whatever. And I was aiming to leave them in there 2 or 3 days, and they wasn't calling for no rain. Well, we woke up in the middle of the night, and it was pouring rain. And I heard that what woke me up was the goats out there crying, sound like babies crying, out there in that garden because they're out there in the rain. So here goes Megan running out there in pajamas in the pouring rain to let them out so they could run down to their shelter. I felt so bad. Yeah, they were so upset. That
was one of those freak thunderstorms that just rolled through in the middle of the summer. But yeah, we had them in there so they could eat down the weeds and whatever was left of the garden, kind of like we do with the steers now. But yeah, I mean, the cows and horses do not get bothered by being out in the rain. Honestly, I think they like it.
Yeah, I think they like it.
But But those pigs, let me tell you, I've been paying attention all day long, and I have not seen the first pig outside today. So, you know, if you're going to have some pigs, make sure they got a shelter to go under. They sure do like it. Here's our one lonely rooster. Apparently, he's been hanging out under the barn down here because he's as dry as he can be. He's flipping out now, though. He don't like people.
I want you to be close to him. He said, "Leave me alone."
Yep, he don't like people. He was injured, and we just kind of turned him loose.
Well, he got injured before we ever turned him loose. He was fighting with other roosters. And I don't know. I'm kind of partial to him, so he stays. His
new home is the yard.
Yeah.
He was hanging out up there under the porch, but evidently he's decided the barn's his new home.
Yeah, which I don't blame him because he picks up all the drop feed and stuff that she drops and the horses drop. Like, he's got him a buffet down here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we don't even have to feed him.
Yeah. I thought him some scratch every once in a while, but he barely pecks through it like he ain't even hungry, so.
Well, Debbie's back. It's pouring rain and we still got to run to the house. But this will kind of give you an idea of what we've been dealing with so far today. I don't know if you can tell just how hard it's raining or not. And then you can see the tops of the trees blowing over there. I mean, really, that's all we've had so far today, and I keep my fingers crossed that that's all it's going to be. Because if this is it, this will be fine. But if the wind were to really pick up, we might start having some problems.
Hey, no, don't do it. Don't do it. It's raining. Why you got to be like this?
Cause I'm videoing her.
Go. Usually she just walks on out.
So back real quick to the rain catchment deal here. Look at how much water comes off of this roof. If any of y'all would have an idea of where I could find I want a black one because I want a black tank so it don't grow algae. But I'm thinking with as much water comes off this roof, I need at least a 500-gallon tank. At least. I mean, bigger than that probably would be better. But if we had a 500-gallon tank to put right here to catch the water off the roof with a gutter, everywhere in the pasture is downhill from here, and we could probably use that water to water everything downhill without any water pumps or anything like that. So eventually I want to try to do that. We haven't done it yet just because of time, and stuff like that costs money. Water tanks are not cheap, especially when you get into one that's that big. So, you know, that's what I'm thinking right now is getting a really big tank that's black that we can use to hold water and see where that goes. But that's a lot of the reason why we hadn't hardly done any water catchment anyways, because stuff like that's just not cheap to do. But there is
we don't pay for our water.
Yeah, and our water comes off a well, so it don't really cost us anything other than the power to run that well pump. But there's a lot of water that comes off this roof right here, and ever since we built this building, I have wanted to catch the water off of it, but we just hadn't never got around to doing that.
I just run and check the rain gauge, and now it's 3 inches, and it's only been like a couple of hours.
It is raining cats and dogs.
That it is.
Been doing this now for, what, at least an hour, ain't it?
Yeah, pouring.
Yeah, pouring like
Oh,
this.
probably, yeah, at least. Maybe longer than that.
So, we'll see what else Debbie brings us. Well, we've got a pretty good break in the rain here. The sky's actually lightened up quite a bit. I'm not sure how long it's going to last, though, because now we're in the point where we're getting like bands from the hurricane. But I just come out here and looked at the rain gauge because it has been raining cats and dogs for the last hour. And we're up to 4 inches. And we're up to the crack part now, so my gauge may not register much after this. So I may end up dumping it out and starting over. But 4 inches of rain so far. And just from what I'm seeing, like we've got standing water everywhere. And there's actually a washout right through the middle of the garden out there. So it's going to be real interesting to see just how that creek garden down there looks, because it is going to be flooded, I just about bet. Anyways, I may check the radar out and walk down there if there's nothing coming up here real soon. So we've decided to go ahead and take this little break in the rain, and we're going to walk down to the creek and just see how things look. But first off, just since the last y'all saw of this, the road is washed right down through here. And look at the sand that washed out of Jacob's sandbox right here. It's just right there. And it's filled the road up. But we got a pretty good little washout right through here, which is typical. That normally happens every time we have a really hard rain. So that's not to be expected. This is probably the worst part of the road. I always have to work on this and pull the gravel back up into it. But the kids have apparently been trapped in the house too long today, because just as soon as I mentioned that the rain was over with for a little bit, at least looking like on the radar it's over with, they both immediately jumped on their foils and they tore off. Is the creek? Is the creek up? All right, we're going.
It's muddy water.
Is it? You see where the water's been washing down through there. Looks like the road's held up pretty good. I've got a small wash right through there, but nothing major. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. It has been raining like crazy. Like, I haven't seen it rain this hard in a very, very long time.
Them last 2 inches come in like 2 hours.
Yeah. Well, that last inch has come in a little of no time.
Yeah.
Yep. The ditch is flowing like a creek right now. Look at that. But yep, it's working, that's for sure. My pond down here is finally filled back up after being dry all summer. The pigs have them a heck of a mud hole over here now. And it didn't flow out right here. This was the one I was worried about, was this ditch flowing over into the grass area, and it's held up because this is the one that goes into the culvert. It's working like it's supposed to. Good.
Yeah, before them road pipes.
Well, I was just telling them that this is the first rain. Well, I told them earlier, this was the first hard rain we've had since I done this road.
Yep.
You see there, my little catchment pond finally filled back up. Yep, looks like everything's holding up now. I think it washed out right there just a little bit and washed back out into the road. Looks like, because yeah, you can see right there where stuff was flowing over. Yeah, we definitely had some water come across right here and run. So I might have to do a little bit to that. But other than that, look at the water running down that ditch. Man, that is flowing right there. And it's coming out the other side.
This is what used to come across the road.
Yeah, right there. Can y'all see? We used to have that crossing the road before we put the culvert pipe in. So we've made it down to the creek, and it's definitely up right now. This is the highest I've seen this creek in a very, very long time. Look at that, and over there is our creek garden. So right now we can't even get over there. Like, I wouldn't drive a side-by-side across this, because I know from experience when I was younger, when a creek is up this high, you do not cross it, because I lost a foil in a creek like this one time when I was younger. It'll roll it over in a heartbeat. This up, ain't it? Look at that. But so far, everything that's over there in the garden looks okay for now. I'm sure it's got some water standing in it, but we're not gonna go find out. Man, it's rushing down through there right now. Wow. Definitely not the highest I've ever seen this creek. However, it's the highest I've seen it in a long time.
I said, yeah, in the last several years.
I don't think it got this high when it done all that raining, did it? In the spring.
No, it never got like
this. And there's actually water running back out of that little creek stream again. During the drought and stuff we've had, this one right here was dried up. And that is also runoff water from the road up here that we just showed you when it was coming out of that culvert pipe. That runs into this stream. Man. Yeah, Tiger's like, I'm not getting in that. You'd be gone in a heartbeat, Tiger, if you did.
Tiger! She's getting in the water. This is what it looks like when it's at a little bit lower, but it looks like this when you cross the floor over it a million times. It's all stirred up.
Oh yeah, muddy like this. Yeah, it is nasty and muddy. You can smell it. It smells like freshly plowed dirt.
Yep.
Maggie said it smells like worms.
Almost smells like mud. But it does.
What is wrong with my creek?
Tiger's like, what's going on?
There's a boat over there.
Looks like it. She's over there spinning. Can't get out of the hole.
What do you think, Megan?
I always think it's cool because you realize just how powerful water is.
Oh yeah, waterfall's a powerful source. But the thing with these small creeks and streams like this, by tomorrow, this thing will be down.
Oh, it'll be back.
It'll be back to normal because right now it's catching all the runoff coming from everywhere.
Well, just like you saw, well, right there and up the
Right.
It's catching all that.
It's catching all that, and as soon as that all drains, then the creek starts going down, and I think somebody else is enjoying all this mud. He just flopped down in there and rolled around. The old pigs is looking good, ain't they, Megan?
Oh yeah, they're growing good. I love my pigs.
I wonder where the other one's at.
It's coming. It's coming down the hill.
Oh, I see it.
They said, look how dry they are. The ones that are just now coming out.
Yeah, they've just now come out of the house. That's why. They heard us down here, so they wanted to see what we were doing. But it's not raining now, so I guess they're like, oh boy, we can get out and venture. I love these old floppy-eared pigs like this one. Well, guys, it's the very next morning.
Yep.
And it is a totally different day out here. It's beautiful today.
It is, and it feels so nice. There's a nice breeze blowing.
Yep. So,
We kept power.
yeah, we never lost power. We do know we had some neighbors and stuff that did, but luckily we never lost power. And as far as I know, like, we haven't seen any wind damage or anything either here.
I think Daddy had a tree fall on his cow fence, but other than that, like,
Yeah,
I haven't heard of anybody else.
I've seen on Facebook some trees down in the roads and stuff, but I'm sure all that's cleaned up by now. But I don't think it ever, fortunately, never really got that bad here in our area. Now, other parts of the state's a different story, but here in our area, everything looks good.
Yep.
But late last night, it finally let up raining, and I come out here and dumped this gauge because it was right there. So we had, now you can't hardly see it. We almost had 5 inches in there last night, and now we've got another ½ inch in there. So roughly about 5.5 inches total, I'm guessing, is what we got out of it. So,
But actually, this garden actually drained better than I thought it would, because it has in the past held water down here on this lower side.
yeah, it looks pretty good.
It washed down through there though, like it used to.
Yeah, I showed them that yesterday. We had that washout through there in the middle. But yeah, there's no water standing in this garden now. It don't look bad.
But you know, we've had rains in the past that would stand right here in these rows, so I'm glad it didn't do that.
Yeah. I'm interested in seeing what down there across the creek looks like though.
That might be a different story.
So we'll be heading down there here shortly.
Yeah, we'll see if the creek is low enough this morning for us to cross, but if it ain't, I mean, it will be probably by this evening.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we'll be able to get across it for sure this evening.
And I'm still watching my cantaloupe. I've got the prettiest cantaloupe over here, and it ain't ripe yet.
That's on the back, the one on the back side back there?
Yeah, I looked at it yesterday.
Yeah,
That's why I was over here.
The cantaloupe vine itself is done. Right there, back in there.
See, it ain't, it's still green. I'm keeping my eye on that. We've gotten how many? Three or four? 3 or 4.
There's 3 or 4?
Yeah, off of that vine, and they are so good. Like, I ate one the other night, like the entire thing in one. And I love cantaloupe. All this stuff, I mean, it's all fine.
Well, raised beds always fare well when you have a lot of rain. That's one advantage to a raised bed is they drain so well. Usually, no amount of rain is really going to hurt them.
Nah. What you doing, Cookie? She's looking at her BFF over here. Her and Tiger are best friends forever.
Tell me about it, Tiger.
Is that your best buddy?
Well,
look how green everything looks, though. I feel
know.
like everything
is
is
very
like
green.
So green.
Look at how blue the sky is.
It's amazing how a storm like that will clean out the atmosphere.
To me, I think the air smells fresher.
Yeah.
This morning.
Yep. All right, well, maybe we can ride down there and see what it looks like.
All right, let's go.
This went way down.
It has. Look at the difference, y'all.
Yeah, it don't take these little creeks long.
So you can see it was plumb up to right in here, it looks like.
And we got more sand
Now
now.
you got your new sandbar washed up you can play in.
And it don't got no weeds growing up in it. Right here.
The creek looks about like normal now. Like, this is what it normally looks like.
That's how low it was.
Yeah, that's how low the creek had gotten. Looks like we do have a sandbar that washed up right over there where we cross at. But that's normal. Every time we have a big rain, that little hole right there changes every time. Sometimes it'll get deeper, sometimes it fills in with sand. It's amazing what just a few hours makes.
Yep. I figured if it wasn't this morning down, it would be by this evening.
Yeah, and it'll probably go down even more than this by this evening.
Yeah.
Well, let's try to cross it and see what the garden looks like.
All right. Are probably happy.
Evidently the wind blew more than we thought it did. You can see the tomatoes over here are standing up, but that middle post there is bent over. And then the popcorn, a whole lot of the popcorn looks like it's laying on the ground. Whoa, I can't step out in there. Look at the popcorn out through there. It's just about to, this whole end up here just about on the ground. And we've noticed that in this little bottom right here. It's almost like the wind like circulates around through here and creates like a little wind funnel or something. But
it just is what it is. Some of it may stand back up.
That young corn will stand up, but that right there won't. Which it don't matter if that don't, it's done anyways.
I know it's got green beans on it.
Oh yeah, it does got green beans on it.
Yeah,
look at the water.
That's kind of what we figured.
So, I don't know. I don't know how this will turn out. These pumpkins right here on the very end, they may end up drowning. I can already see, like, that wasn't like that just the other day. The last time we were down here.
Which was just the day before yesterday.
Yeah, I think so. But that corn's all on the ground, which out through yonder everything looks good. I ain't gonna walk out in there because I'll sink up out of sight. I do want to show y'all something though about these pumpkins. I'm walking in water down here, like it's standing water. But look at these pumpkins. They have flat tucking over these Dixie Lee peas. So we're actually going to have to hunt for the peas once we get to pick them. But yeah, that one pumpkin right there is not faring too well right now. I don't know if that's from bug damage or if that's
look what it's sitting
from the water. Yeah, I know. It's standing water right there.
It's standing in probably 6 inches of water.
But
and the bad thing is down here, though, that'll be like that for a few days.
Yeah, it'll take it a couple of days to dry out.
I mean, look how deep it is right here.
But out yonder looks pretty good, though, for now. We'll find out.
Oh, yeah.
A couple of days will tell.
One extreme to the other.
Yep, one extreme to the other, that's right. But I could have cut these pumpkin vines and kept them from running out into the peas, you know, and left them alone, because that would have probably made bigger pumpkins. But y'all, we've never had pumpkin vines that look this great, so I just kind of wanted to let them go and see just how far they'd actually run. Yeah, there is water standing everywhere in here.
It stopped. No, it's still there.
Still water standing up this far?
Yep. Over in there it is, right here. Yeah, still. It's starting to let up about right here.
So halfway across the garden, it's got water standing in it.
And you know, y'all have heard us talking time and time again how this garden holds on to moisture, which has been wonderful. That's why this garden's done so good during the drought. But then in situations such as this, it's going to be, you won't be able to walk in it for a week, at least.
No, you really won't. Right here's a pumpkin vine that stretched almost to the other side of the garden here. But, well, Tiger, what are you doing? She's got a bunch of energy built up from yesterday. What in the world, Tiger?
She can't throw it, baby. It's too big.
There you go.
Watch out. Don't let her take you out with it.
Crazy dog. Yeah, we may have to put our muck boots on and come down here and pick some of them peas.
Oh, no, it's still water standing. I was kidding. It's still water.
Maybe tomorrow or the next day we can get in here enough to pick them. Yep, there's several in there I see that need to be picked. There's several pink holes there. But y'all, what we're doing with these pink holes, since we've canned all we want to can.
Purple holes. Yeah,
purple holes, I'm sorry. Since we've canned all we want to can, we're taking those and just letting them dry on the vine, and we're going to save them as dried beans. So that's why you see so many purple holes hanging out there.
And we've given a lot away.
We've given some away. We've canned more than we've ever canned before.
Yeah. They've really done well this year.
They have. Maybe not now. They may, everything down here in the next couple of days may turn yellow and drown.
The water literally comes up about here.
You still see standing water?
Look, now, it ain't as bad.
Yeah,
I mean, it ain't as deep, but yeah.
That's almost to the other end of the garden. It's standing water.
We knew it'd be this way, though.
Oh, yeah. It'll be fine, though. Once the sun hits this, things will start drying out, and hopefully nothing drowns.
I can't believe it blowed the corn over like that, though.
You know how that wind does down here.
I know, but still.
I never have understood it. You're down here protected by all these trees.
It's like a wind tunnel.
And instead of protecting it, it's almost like it makes a wind tunnel.
That corn in the house don't even look like it's been blown.
No, well, I don't even remember the wind hardly blowing last night at the house, or yesterday.
I mean, it was a few gusts, but nothing.
But you know what, too? You know what? You know what, too? The dirt's so soft down here, and after all that rain, it probably didn't take hardly nothing. So the weight of the rain on the plant,
That's true.
and then what little bit of wind we got took it down.
Probably. I did see tobacco farm around here. All their tobacco got blown over.
I saw that.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Yep.
And that was probably the same scenario. We had so much rain, the wind was
Just enough.
just enough because of the weight of the water on the plant combined with what wind we had just laid it down. Well, last but not least, we decided to ride up here to the cornfield since our corn down in the bottom had been blowed over. We wanted to see if this up here got affected by it any, but Looks like it sort of did. It's not bad though, is it?
It's muddy, though.
Oh yeah, it's muddy. Look at the...
It's got water.
There's water standing out there too. So, I think this right here is going to be all right though. I see some stalks down there towards the bottom that's really took a beating. Oh, out in there it really did. But that's okay. Corn, once corn's done made itself, if it gets blowed over like this, it's not going to hurt anything. Now, if it was trying to pollinate, those tassels were trying to pollinate the corn and it got blowed over, that would really mess it up. But I think it's okay. I see out in yonder, way out in there, it looks like there's some blowed over pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised this didn't blow over worse than it did though, because I was never able to throw any dirt up around it.
And plus it's like...
And it's super tall. Yeah. Look at how much taller it is than the other corn here. Same corn, same seed.
Oh yeah, it's quite a bit.
Just different weather conditions. Oh yeah, I see some actually on the ground out there. Now that ain't good. Oh yeah, it looks like it got the bottom side here.
Look, they're standing in that pond down here.
Yep. Well, that's that wet spot that always drowns when it's... Yep, look, there's some laying flat on the ground here. Whoa. Now that ain't no good there. That corn there's ruined where it's flat on the ground.
On the deer hole.
Well, we'll have to just cut it and feed it to the cows like we've been doing with the other. But still don't look too bad.
No, at least it all didn't get blowed over.
Yeah, we could have come across here and it'd be flat on the ground.
Oh,
every bit of it.
All of it.
Apparently the wind come across this hill right here a whole lot harder than it come across up at our house.
Yeah, look up in there now.
Yep.
Down this bottom. Yeah, got that.
Oh yeah, way up in there, that's all laid over. Well, that goes to show you what happens when you don't got your corn healed up, especially this tall heirloom corn. I bet you $1 if I'd have had it healed up like it should have been.
Yeah, because that up in there ain't blowed over like that.
Yep.
But it wasn't tall.
Oh well. It is what it is. It may not make nothing though, because these right here are just at the point where their tassels are...
Yeah, they're just now
pollinating. So that may mess this up. We'll see. I don't know. Next year might not plant no corn. This year's been such a struggle. About done with it.
Yeah, y'all followed us for any amount of time. Y'all know, I mean, from the time we planted it.
It's been something else. One thing right after the other on this corn this year.
Well, a good way to look at it, though, when we save our seeds, we'll know that they're going to be some tough seeds.
Well,
this has been through.
They ought to be. It has. It's been through wet spells, dry spells, back to a wet spell, then a hurricane. But
I'm afraid this right here will drown though, because this would be like the creek, it won't dry.
yeah, it probably will. That corn right there will be yellow in a couple of days.
Yeah, because this spot, it just won't.
Don't drain right here.
That's why you had to replant it to start with.
Yep, because it drowned it the first time. Well, guys, I guess you can say we fared Hurricane Debby pretty well, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, it was a tropical storm.
Oh, yeah, tropical storm Debby. Yeah, she was done a tropical storm time she got to us.
But, yeah, I mean, it could have been
a lot
100
worse.
times worse. I mean, we're thankful that we came through as good as we did. The corn and the gardens, you know what? If we lose part of it, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
And
we've done made what we need to make anyways.
you know, but we're praying for the people. There are people that lost their lives and loved ones and houses and things like that from this storm, and a lot of flooding, and you know, we didn't have to go through any of that. So.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of flooding on the news east of us. They were showing it.
So like I said, I'm thankful we fared as well as we did, and well, just make us, like I've told Andy when we was going through that drought, we were talking about it, and I said, well, you know what? It just makes you thankful for the good weather that you do get.
Yeah, well,
when you go through stuff like this. So.
That's exactly right. With each challenge comes a...
Well, learning.
You learn and everything else. And then there's some things Mother Nature throws at you, you just can't do nothing about.
That's right.
Nothing at all.
But anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and we'll see y'all on the next one.
Y'all have a good one.